right, guys, how's it going? Now, before I get into this video, I just want to let you know I'll be live on here tonight at 6 o'clock UK time. All right, so Traitor Trent, we are back with a Traitor Trent update. We haven't done one of these for ages, and you can see by my chubby cheeks grinning away here that I'm excited about it. Now, if you're new to my channel, please don't caps lock me to death. All right, Traitor Trent is the name of the series. It was picked by my viewers. All right, I was going to call it Trent Watch after he left Liverpool. But my viewers went, nah, fuck him, he's a rat, Traitor Trent. All right, so it's a bit of banter. The videos we do on here are not picking on Trent. They're just basically covering what's been said in the Spanish media about him. I'm out here in Spain and I review the Spanish football dailies every single day. So, not as closely as I used to, though, because I don't go to the cafe anymore in the morning. So you need to give me a kick up the arse because we've got a Spanish manager now, and I think that these are going to prove helpful to us again because they have in the past. So basically, as you can see, here he is, Trent. Just Trent. I was going to say Trent Alexander-Arnold, but they call him Trent now, don't they? He's a brand now. He's our Trent, you know. And basically, the main angle of the Marca article you can see behind me today, it's not really, you know, like transfer news or anything like that. It's a pressure piece about Real Madrid having to revisit positions they supposedly fixed only 12 months ago. And of course, that includes Trent. Now, Dean Huijsen is here as well, which is very surprising. You know, he's a brilliant player. And we spoke about him a lot on here. Liverpool were interested in him. But he always wanted to go to Real Madrid because he's more Spanish than anything, really. He was brought up in... I think he moved to Spain when he was 5 years of age. Even though he was born in the Netherlands or whatever, he's a Spain international. And when he burst onto the international scene, he was brilliant, but he didn't even make the World Cup squad. And basically, he's in there as well today, which is really surprising. So basically, the headline idea is Real Madrid's 2025 signings are already under review because the club has gone back into the market for the same positions only a year later. So Marca frame it as signings in trouble. This is what this says here. Or signings under pressure, if you like. So Huijsen, Trent, Mastantuono, and Carreras are now facing direct competition from this summer's arrivals, which is Canate, another fucking rat, Dumfries, Bernardo Silva, and Cucurella. Yeah. For the Traitor Trent reference, if you like, in this article, he's mentioned because Denzel Dumfries has arrived, which reopens the right wing back position. Marca says that Trent was assumed to be the owner of that role after Carvajal's departure, but now Dumfries arrives as a very different type of player, and they describe him as more experienced, more physical, more of a wing-back, more about arriving in the box than dictating play on the ball. So that is the key distinction. Marca is not saying that Dumfries is technically better than Trent. In fact, the article pretty much admits that Trent is superior on the ball, but it suggests Dumfries gives Mourinho something Trent maybe doesn't have, a more traditional, powerful, direct, athletic wing-back option. So Trent's position is being presented as no longer guaranteed. And like I say, you know, when he went there, it was like, is he stupid? There's Carvajal. He's the main man there, but obviously, you know, he was coming to the end of his career. So it was assumed that the plan was to bring Trent into that position, but it's not looking good for him, to be honest with you. The article doesn't say that Trent is being sold. It does not say Real Madrid have given up on him. But it absolutely says that the right-back position, which looked closed after he arrived, is now competitive again. So he left Liverpool for Real Madrid glory. 1 year later, they've already signed another player for his position. It doesn't mean he's failed, but it doesn't mean that he is no longer untouchable. And there was a killer line in the article. Basically, Madrid thought they'd replace Carvajal with Trent, but 12 months later, they've signed Dumfries, and that tells you something. Not exactly a standing ovation from the Bernabeu, is it? So the full article, if you like, is Madrid's 2025 recruitment is already being questioned, and Trent is part of that wider group. He's not singled out as the biggest problem, but he's very much included in the prove yourself again category, which has been Trent's story ever since he went there. So listen, you know, some of my viewers want to see him fail miserably. Some would like to see him succeed. It doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. This is basically what's been said in Spain today. The Spanish media were on his back from day one. Really vile towards him, to be honest with you. I've never listened, you know, when all this Trent stuff started a long time, when he was at Liverpool, you know, all the Real Madrid speculation started a long, long time. I always thought that he would go to Real Madrid. I believed it from the off. Obviously, Jose Felix Diaz was, you know, providing excellent coverage. Spoke to me privately as well about the situation, which made me even more confident that it was going to happen. So, you know, I'm one of these people, if you leave Liverpool, that's it, you're gone. I'm not really bothered, you know. I guess when people like Alonso have left over the years, I wanted to see them further the career and whatnot. Trent, I was more interested in what was going to happen with Trent, because I thought it was a move that would never work for him, right? So I thought it was a silly move. I think Bellingham had probably got in his head, you know, look at me, I'm a brand, you can become a brand, hence the, you know, rebranding or renaming to just Trent. I think that Trent started, he was such a humble guy, you know, such a nice kid really, and then I think that maybe his association with Bellingham, I don't know if it's fair to say it or not, I think he changed and started to think he was more, you know, he's going to go there and win the Ballon d'Or and all that shit. So what you're going to do is, some people will hear about this coverage today, so don't be surprised if you see an exclusive later that Real Madrid are looking to sell him and all that. This will be the IT case, people like Indy that will latch on to that. You know, the obvious here is that Trent isn't as favoured as he was, not that he ever really was since he got there really. So it's very easy to predict and say, oh, you know, the clubs want him and all that. And there's also what you're going to, not that clubs want him. It's very easy to say that Real Madrid would allow him to go, which you would imagine they would now, right? So just prepare yourself. And also, you've got to remember, some people have agenda. One thing I don't have on this channel is agenda. I'm very honest and transparent with my views. I couldn't really give a fuck whether he stays there or not, right? But there'll be people out there that are laughing and want to see him fail, and they'll start saying he's now being dumped by Real Madrid and all this. So, but we've heard that multiple times. And the good thing is, with me being here and monitoring these things, when these people come out, the Twitter twat saying he's being dumped, he's available, you know, they've put him on the market, all this shit, I've been able to say to you guys, that's not being said in Spain. So all they're saying in Spain at the moment is that these signings from last year are, you know, not necessarily under doubt, but they've signed players in their same positions, right? So it's going to be interesting for Trent. I would imagine that Trent will leave Real Madrid. Not necessarily immediately, but I don't think he's going to be a long-term thing. And this is another reason why we wanted to do the Traitor Trent series, or Trent Watch, or whatever, as I would have called it, was I've always had a real interest to see how his career goes, right? So, because some people say, well, why, if you're not bitter, why don't you make a series about other players that have left Liverpool? Because I've never been interested in those players when they've left Liverpool. With Trent, I always thought, wow, Real Madrid, really? What a step up for you. Not a step up from Liverpool, but a step up in terms of, like, you know, the pressure. At Liverpool, you can make a mistake, as he did often as a right back, and would be seen trotting back or whatever, and the fans would still be chanting his name or whatever. At Real Madrid, they'd be throwing pigs' heads at him. So I knew that he was going into a cauldron. I knew he was like, what the fuck are you doing? And there's a lot of digs at him. You know, a lot of this, like, you know, the British guy, the English player. They always bring nationality into it with him. But they've never done it with this kid. You know, they've never made, you know, suggestions about where he originates from or anything. But Trent, they've always made them little digs, like the Brits, you know. It's hard to explain because I can't remember them all off the top of my head. Maybe you don't see being referred to as a Brit as a problem, but it wasn't in that context. It was always sly remarks, you know, aimed at him, which is exactly why I'm interested as to how his career would pan out. I always thought that it was the wrong move for him. It might be nice on a personal level. I played for Liverpool. I played for Real Madrid. How good does that sound when you tell your grandkids? But I thought it would do more damage to him, to be honest with you. England World Cup is a good example of that. I think it was a stupid decision, to be honest with you. Nothing wrong with wanting to test yourself and go abroad, right? But I'm sure if you wanted to go to, another Spanish club or an Italian club or whatever, I think Real Madrid is just a club where, they're not like us. We used to have Darwin Núñez missing shots left, right, and centre, and still be shouting Núñez. Our fans would be Núñez. You know what I mean? Because we support, Real Madrid, they boo the fuck out of their own players all the time. Even their best players. So for me, it was just a move I didn't think was going to work out. And that's why I created this series, because I wanted to show you guys outside Spain what was actually being said here. Was he playing well? Were they doing, saying nice things about him, or was he struggling? So I know some of you will be like, ha ha. But for me, it's not that. It's more just telling you what's going on. So brace yourself for maybe even Trent return stories to Liverpool, or the sort of things that Indy and people like that will do. The Trent has been offered to Liverpool, or they'll try and do that smarmy one to get people angry, where it'll be Trent's, offering himself to Liverpool, he wants to come back and all that, so that the fans get angry. You need to be aware of that. I guarantee you something like that's going to crop up at some point. All right, so not just that he's available and Real Madrid want to, cash in on him or something. I guarantee that there'll be these kind of accounts that will want to anger those Liverpool fans that were angry that he left by saying Trent's, he wants to come back. He realised he made a mistake, when that's not going to be true. He might have made a mistake in some regards, but they're definitely going to try and wind people up with it. So be aware of that. All right, guys, I'll keep you posted on anything else to do with Trent, should anything come up. All right. Here comes the grift. If you enjoy the channel, the video, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. There's a love heart on the video called the super thanks. Very much appreciated if you support the channel using that. I always give you a shout out in the morning briefing the next day. There's 3 links in the video description, alternative ways of supporting me. One is Revolut. That's my beer kitty for a weekend. There's a channel membership, of course, as well. That's the cool people in the comments section with a football next to their name. Okay, guys, I will leave it with you. I'll be live on here tonight at 6:30. All right.